Dana back, so Brutus will actually be useful.
Yay! Debatable.
And I think when we left you guys off, you guys are about to head to give a shot to Topaz again.
Yep, we just need to send a message first that we're coming for tea, and we need to gather up some food items, because that, I believe, was the agreement when we were going to have tea.
Wood. That's what he wants.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than the red dragons, because Topaz wants wood.
Okay. So you send a message? How are you sending the message?
I don't know. I don't think the copper quarrel came with us.
It did not.
Anyone got a carrier pigeon handy? Oh.
You have carrier rats.
Do we have some of the legion?
The swarm?
Our swarm, yeah, the brain rats.
But Whistler's been chatting with them.
But we don't know that, I don't think.
No, we don't. He hasn't shared that.
Do any of the magic people have message? Could we do that?
I don't know.
Did we take a rest yet or not?
A long rest? No.
We need to take a rest.
We did take a short rest, but we have not taken a long rest.
Outside of sending a courier, unfortunately, Brutus can't help really at all with sending a message.
I think we might have to use a courier, and while the courier is getting there and back, we could take the long rest and find the wood.
Well, the time dilation is gone, so
right.
I mean, I could just fly over there and then send Flap in.
That works.
Okay.
Okay, so while Whistler's doing that, Storm and Zashi will take a long rest.
I mean, it's going to take Whistler like an hour to do that.
All right. Well,
are you guys taking a short? Are you taking another short rest, or?
I can't just take another short rest. I'm out of.
Yeah, I need spells.
Okay.
I had to burn through a lot, you know.
What with the dragons and such?
With the night.
With the running away from the night.
Hey, he kept on using haste, so it was within my right.
Well, after the Topaz conversation with T, we're probably going to need to do some prep work before we get to Ruby. So we could probably work in a rest after that. And that time-wise would also make sense because we would have been running around for almost the full day.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So we'll do two scenes. First, we'll do Whistler. Whistler, as you fly over, and you're gonna have Flap just fly into Topaz's lair. Are you using your eyesight, or are you just using Flap to deliver a message?
I'm just gonna have him deliver a message. I'm not gonna go blind while I'm in the air, but I gotta get within a mile before I can.
It's easy enough.
Yeah.
I will say it is taking a lot longer than it should. Like, you haven't felt Flap disappear, but like it feels like you're smart enough to realize like how fast Flap can deliver a message, and it takes a long time, like twice as long as it should for Flap to come back.
Okay, but he does come back.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Brutus, while the rest of the party was dealing with the dragons, you kind of help clean up. During this part, a kind of disheveled Plautus comes up. It's like, oh, Brutus. It's a frightful thing. He's looking kind of nervously around, but he does. Listen, I haven't been entirely forthcoming. But since it seems like my life is truly attached to the survival of this godforsaken town, perhaps you or one of your patriots could use this. And he pulls out that it's kind of actually a ridiculous looking sword. Brutus is a little dent sometimes, but like there's a lot of like extra edges on this thing that like
Perhaps shouldn't be there.
yeah, but it is a long sword. It has a obsidian hilt with a big blood red ruby as its pommel, and it's like one of my grandfathers used to wield this during one of the ravenings. Maybe you could find somebody that had use for this, and he hands you a longsword.
Okay. Do I recognize anything in particular about it other than the physical descriptions? Like, is it anything that I would know historically or anything
I
like
mean,
that?
give me a history check. I wouldn't think so, but let's see
I
what you
wouldn't
roll.
think so either, but it's a sword.
It's a sword.
Okay.
Well-made
Well,
sword.
thanks.
And he
as
scutters
far as-
off as soon as he hands you this sword. He's
it.
like, "If you need me, I'll be hiding under my bed."
Shocking. Truly. Okay. I know that Storm and Zashi are napping, so I'll go and wait for them to wake up so I can get at least Zashi's opinion on this weird sword.
So at this point, Zashi would be up because she had taken
Okay.
a short rest earlier. And I'm guessing that this interaction happened like during the short rest. Would be my guess after the resplendent thing. So I would be at the temple or actually cleaning up town and checking on it. Everyone else is probably what I'd be doing.
Okay. Then I would bring it to Zashi and tell her what Cloudus had said and that this is a sword.
This is the sword. It's a
Okay,
long
I'm gonna be
sword.
right back. Give me a second.
Sure. Yeah. Wouldn't need to
If you're
think Cloudus was acting shit.
Well, I'm checking my phone.
okay.
Just catching me up, Terry. For my long leave.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take a look at it. It's not really something I can use, but someone stronger than me probably could.
Me. If we want, I'll just hold on to it until we decide or figure out what it's for.
I'll try to do it. Yeah, if you're up for topping me up. It was on the couch on one of the pillows, weirdly. This is why he keeps me around, is because I noticed where stuff is.
You remember where it
Sure.
went.
I'm sure more than that.
I tease him. This is why he keeps me around. Let's see. Yeah, I can do a history check on it once Scott comes back and see if I know anything. But my history is actually worse than yours.
Yeah, but you rolled better than I do. Just kind of in general.
We need to get you a dice jail.
If there was a digital dice jail, I still feel like I probably would have run out somehow of digital dice to put in that jail. But
The dice jail's at capacity.
you must start reusing your regular digital dice. Damn it. Why?
Or they forced to rehabilitate the dice that have already been jailed to make room.
Yep.
We recoded them and everything. We don't understand how she keeps getting ones. It's weird.
You can't even roll ones. We tried.
It's 2s and 3s, because then when I'm my halfling, I don't get my lucky one reroll.
That's right.
The absolute worst thing to get is a halfling, a 2. Oh, slap in the face.
Okay. Scott said that it had extra spiky bits and like a red pommel.
Yeah, he said that it had extra edges, like
Edges.
blades, and that the handle was a giant ruby pommel.
Okay, I'm gonna try a history check if that's all right, Scott.
I can't decide if the extra blades in my head are more like
Nope,
extra
that is-
dimensional or
That is
just like
not
a
right.
mace that belongs to it.
It's better when I rolled the 1d10. That's okay. Seems like a really pretty sword. I don't know.
I don't think any of us are going to know what this sword is.
Like,
We're all gonna think that's a sword.
Yeah,
Does
that's
anyone
a
have
sword.
like magic detection stuff?
Maybe I could persuade the sword to tell me what it is.
Maybe.
You
That
know,
would be
with
better.
your with
that
Storm's
would
luck,
be
though.
better.
Does
Give me a
anyone
persuasion
have-
check. There's Storm.
Oh my god, please.
29.
Other NPCs we can ask as well.
Can I help intimidate the sword?
I got a
if you don't
29 on my
fucking-
persuasion check. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, I already messed up one of his persuasion checks
My-
earlier.
Seriously, Storm, you hear, my name is Gas.
Do I only hear that?
Yes.
I say his name is Cass, right? That's right.
K-A-S.
But- Yeah. I'm like, his name is Cass.
The sword's name is Cass.
Yeah. He just talked to me apparently. That's a thing.
Have just out of curiosity, have we tested if Storm can actually coax a smile from an inanimate stone? Have we tested that yet? Because I'm pretty sure he actually could make it animate just by persuasion. I'm just saying with his
I
voice.
mean, well, there was that bucket he brought to life that came
Oh,
following
yeah,
after
sure.
him. Whatever happened to the
I
bucket?
didn't do the bucket. I did the hand.
Oh, the
The
hand,
bucket
right.
was Whistler.
Right.
Well-
the hand, though.
Oh,
took
the
you
bucket
off.
and the hand are still running around, causing mischief.
Yeah. It's
course,
Storm is just sad about the fireball. That was sad.
Thanks. I'll Brutus
So-
will holding Cass say, "Nice to meet you, Cass." Like talking to a kid's imaginary friend.
Pethin.
Who hears that?
Whoever's holding on to the cast at that point.
Okay, me, I guess. Blood.
I look at Bruce expectantly, like, so you hear it too? So I'm not. So
well,
now
now
you
I
don't
do.
think I'm crazy?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily jump to that conclusion, but it did say blood.
Well, at least I got a name out of it.
I would dare to think it was a request. Do you want blood? If so, why?
God.
It needs blood. So
Another black
that's
racer.
interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck Black Racer.
I like the sword.
The sword's great. It's sassy. I like that. So I'm actually gonna look at Zasha. Would it be a really bad idea to just prick my finger on this? Do you think?
Well, I don't think I know much about sentient weapons as Zashi, so I think she'd say, well, it might give it a little bit to tide it over if that's what it needs. There's probably going to be some sort of negative.
This is probably bad. This is so bad.
How
Oh.
I'll ask Cass, like, hey, Cat, how badly do you need blood?
Need
Yeah, but like right now or
thirst.
it
Yeah,
says
one
it's
example.
thirsty.
He's in a desert. Of course he's thirsty.
Yeah, we're all kind of thirsty. It's a little dry. If you can just hold on for just a little bit, I'll get you some blood.
Ugh. Really,
That's not going to be distracting at all while you're
No.
trying to fight.
he's
Oh,
really
I-
one-tracked mind.
Uh-huh. Well, so is Bruce. So fair is fair. Now we've got two minds. We can do two tracks. All right. Well, I'll hold on to it for a bit till we can figure out some more about it. Where's everybody else? I don't know if in this time Whistler would have come back or not.
I don't know. Let's cut back to him.
Oh, Tiger's back. Okay.
Sorry, I had to excuse myself for a moment.
No, that's fine. I was okay, so Flap comes back and he can never remember if I'm familiar. You don't have any like telepathy thing with him, right? You still have to kind of like
No. There's telepathy between kind of. They're not, it's more like, I think it's more like emotional stuff. Like
okay.
He's only got an intelligence of 2. He's
Right.
still an animal.
So you get agitation coming from him. He definitely said, like communicates to you that he couldn't deliver the message. No one was there. Signs of there was blood everywhere.
All right. I'm going to try to fly in.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. It's well, actually, it's not easy enough because without Topaz there, the water has flooded this like cavern. And there are bits everywhere. Like yellow scale hide, like something was torn apart.
Great. Well, I take some of them.
Okay.
Is there a lot of them? Like
Yeah, like
an entire dragon's worth?
yeah, like an entire. Well, there's distinctly not an entire dragon's worth. There's like half of dragon's worth.
Great. Like were they torn up or like?
They look like they've been bitten. Like they've been like bitten, scratched, and pulled apart. The other one.
Is he in the water?
The bits are they're floating in the water.
All that nice clean water now ruined by dragon bits.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like water sometimes has bits of cucumber or something in it?
If you want to give me an investigation check.
I'm sure that tastes different than the cucumbers.
I would think so, but you never know.
Okay, yeah. In between the bits of yellow gemstone and kind of earthen scale, you also find some bits of sapphire and like blue scale.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he takes some of that too.
Okay.
He's not taking a lot because he's got to fly back. But
Okay.
yeah, then he's gonna fly back because he doesn't want to be here by himself.
Okay.
Is Topaz's heart there with that investigation?
No. I mean, the investigation reveals that no, the heart is not there.
Okay.
Okay, so you make your way back. Around this time, what are you guys doing with the sword?
It sounds like I'm holding on to it for now. If it
Are
says
you?
anything different.
Did you feed it?
Not yet.
Okay, I need you to make a charisma save, please.
Yeah, because he's going to feed himself.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate.
Hmm.
If it's a save, am I near Zachi? Don't
Sure.
Zachi have a thing?
Yeah, I was still standing next to you, so +3 on it.
Oh, goody. It's a +5. Uh-oh.
Okay, pretty sure that fails. Give me a second.
Goody roll.
I did offer to give it a little bit of mine if it saves it from hurting someone else.
A
Brutus-
little
Brutus-
bit is probably not gonna work for this. So give me a second.
You know how like you test your blood sugar, a little prick on the finger.
Yeah, if you cut off one of your hands, you're gonna keep it.
I have already lost a hand and we just reattached it. So I mean, if we just do that again, we could just do the same hand.
Over and over again.
Yeah, right. It's like a glove, you know. I could swap it out for a cool hook or something.
Okay.
Another horn, inexplicably.
An arm horn.
Yeah,
I-
to match
okay.
the weirdest boxing club on the planet.
Okay. So we have already established Zashi is next to you. Who is else next to you? Is there anyone else that's messing around with this?
Oh god.
Still close to sleeping.
I didn't
It's
think
going to attack one of us.
I was gonna say I didn't think Bill was nearby. We know Whistler wasn't there, and Storm was there initially. But if it's been like an hour, I don't know if he would stick around while I sat there.
Well, we'll just say it's Zashi. So what's your attack modifier, Brutus?
Attack modifier.
Yeah,
Would be strength.
Strength plus
So
your proficiency would be what, +9?
it's well, like strength. No, that's a save. It's 8.
Okay.
5 plus 3. It's 8.
Roll 1d20 plus. This is going to be with advantage because I'm pretty sure Zashi would not be expecting Brutus to suddenly attack her.
Correct.
Unfortunate.
It is a +3 weapon, so
Can I not throw myself on it to stop it? when I
21 to
see-
hit.
Yeah, 21 hits.
Okay, let's see what hold. Fortunately, it's not that much damage. Sorry, you take 17 points of damage there,
Oh god.
Zashi. At which point the sword goes, blood.
Oh. And probably grabbing wherever I just
And
got hit.
now, Brutus, you shake your head as the fog clears. I also need you to roll 1d100, please.
Roll a
Drum
one.
roll.
Yeah.
No, don't roll a one.
Look, guys, I got a 20.
Yay,
I got a
20.
nat 20.
You're 120.
Natural 20. Yeah, natural 20.
That's the 120 I'm getting this game.
As the fog clears, Brutus, this is a very weird sensation, but you feel like you're now proficient in Arcana. You now have like magical knowledge as
Oh god. Okay. With this newfound knowledge, can I try and figure anything out about this thing?
sure.
Yay.
Actually, I will say with the proficiency in knowledge, this is what you actually feel as the fog clears. You see an image. You're wielding the sword, but like you don't wear black plate armor, and you're faced in front of this like weird zombie creature, and that's like his back is turned to you. He obviously trusts you, and you just hack down and take its right arm off, and as he spins around, you stab him in the eye, and that's what you see, and then you're back to Brutus.
When I come back, is the sword like did I stab Zashi or did it slice her? Like,
Yeah, I would
Basically,
say you stabbed her like in the shoulder. Like,
so if I
and that's
come
actually
to-
probably what you saw when you stabbed. You didn't even see yourself stabbing Zashi. You saw you
yeah,
stabbing this thing, and
and then I basically blink and I see I'm holding the sword and it's in Zashi. So my reaction would be to immediately pull it out and like throw the sword down at my feet and then not let anybody touch it.
You kind of
and-
went away there for a moment.
well,
Well, just
yeah, okay. So it drops to the ground.
Technically, what, Scott?
No, because she did say that Brutus pulled it out first. So
yeah, leave the sword embedded in her shoulder.
yeah.
from Bruce will be what just happened?
What just happened? What did you see, do, feel?
Like, what do you mean? What just happened? You just stabbed Zashi.
I don't know. You're not
Definitely
there.
out of character. I definitely need to know what happened.
I would say actually, Bill, you would hear this screaming, and if you come in there, the sword definitely has an unusual aura.
Ooh, a sword.
Don't touch it yet. Don't touch it.
I would body block you. We get in a tussle.
Breathe.
There seems to be like flitting bats everywhere around the sword.
I would explain.
That's what Bill can
I
see.
saw. Okay. I would explain to them what I saw, like what I experienced, and be apologizing profusely to Zashi, saying I don't understand what it was that just happened. Although I guess if I have proficiency in Arcana, I would assume that I got possessed.
Does anybody else see the bats?
I
Whoa.
don't think so. All right,
Zashi,
Brutus.
did you get stabbed?
Yes, I got stabbed. I need to ask the fucking sword something.
Okay, just stand.
I thought you just ate.
How hungry
You
are
actually see the blood is starting to soak into the sword.
Oh,
All right.
All
right, Cass. I am like touching it. Brutus, punch me if it looks like I'm getting all possessed-y or something.
Okay. I'll prepare. I won't prepare to punch her, but I'll prepare to physically restrain her and wrestle the sword away from her.
Also, by the way, Brutus, when you drop that sword, the weird memories of how magic works are like fading out of your head.
Okay. It's slowly making less sense as I'm not holding the sword.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bill sees bats floating around the sword, which I don't think we can see, so I'm going to touch the sword.
Okay.
So Cass.
Yes.
What did you show Brutus when you stabbed me?
The fate of all tyrants.
Well, that
The
doesn't
fate
sound
of
bad.
all tyrants?
Mm-hmm.
Tyrants are bad.
Because what happened to that tyrant that you whatever did to? Because I don't know exactly.
I cut off his hand, gouged out his eye, and he discorporated. Now he wanders the realms as a pseudo-god.
The whispered one, that guy?
Vecna.
Perfect. We need to actually go after him.
How do you feel about killing him again?
How do you feel about killing him again?
Must kill Vecna.
So how about this? If you don't hurt anyone else that I deem a friend, we'll wield you to do that. How's that sound?
Every time I'm drawn, I must drink.
Oh.
Okay,
Well, was I given a scabbard? Because I was given the sword, but I don't recall being given the scabbard.
You were definitely not given a scabbard.
What counts as drawn? Can I wrap you in a cloak real quick and we just call it that for a bit?
My spirit cannot be contained by mere cloth.
What do you need to be contained?
My home.
And what is your home?
My scabbard.
Yeah, but where is it?
What?
Brutus,
Like,
what is
well,
actually
Brutus, where
I
did you
was
get this
only
sword?
woken up a few, I don't know, hours, days. Time means little, but I have not been awoke for long.
All right. You said Plautus gave this to you? We need to see Plautus and get the scabbard.
Well, here's my question really quick, and this is just how Brutus would think. If we don't put him back in a scabbard, he won't need to be drawn again, so he's got his blood for this time being drawn. Does that count? Like, he doesn't need any more blood for now, right? Because he's been drawn. Yeah, but
For now.
I don't know how long I can be sated. It's never really come up before.
Okay. Well, for now, Can you be patient and not stab my friends again? We'll take you to try and find your home. Well, thank you
Alright.
very much, and I will.
Okay.
I'll pick him up, but I'll make sure I'm staying 10 feet away from, 15 feet, 20 feet away from everyone at all times.
All
I'm
right,
on the opposite side of the room.
Let's go see Plautus and see about the scabbard.
He said he'd be hiding under his bed if that's helpful.
That is very helpful. We can go to his house and check under his bed.
Getting very V for Vendetta vibes. All right, let's go find Claudius.
Okay. Around this time, I'll say Whistler starts his way back on this.
Yeah.
But as you guys get to the mayoral mansion, the front door is locked.
I'm gonna pound on it.
Boom, boom, boom. No answer for the first.
Storm just goes right on in. This guy's a jackass.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my knock wand, the wand of the from the jail, to unlock the door.
Okay. You do so. The doors fling wide open. And just kind of seated on a pile of books is. It looks like a thinner, younger version of Plautus. Goatee, wearing basically like a red robe. And he just kind of like, well, that was excessive. Because remember, knock is like everyone in the town hears this cacophonous boom.
Well, it's rude not to answer your door.
It's rude to give someone a sword and then have their friend stab him with it. Where's the fucking scabbard? And who the fuck are you? Because you were definitely not the Plautus I know.
I was like, oh, well, that's obvious. And he points up, and you see, like, basically impaled on one of the banisters on the stairs above is the Plautus you know.
Why is he impaled?
Because
Who are you?
he was annoying.
Storm shaking his head, yes.
We know he's annoying, but typically just being annoying isn't enough to kill someone. So who are you?
You can call me Meth.
Meth?
Yeah, Meth.
M-E-P-H or M-E-T-H?
M-E-P-H.
And where did you come from?
Just a little bit south of here.
A little south.
He doesn't point so much south as he points straight down.
I was just going to ask. Considering where we are now.
Cass is actually on Brutus right now still.
Yeah, I have Cass in my hand.
Okay, so if you're from down south, the hell or the abyss?
I mean, if you need to put labels on it, I am the Archduke of the 8th Circle of Hell. Mephistopheles at your service.
Zashi.
Now, it
Not
seems
necessarily.
that I have a...
Minion.
It seems that I have a product that you are in desperate need of. So, I think it's time we work out a deal.
What do you want?
I mean, just a trifle thing. Your souls would suffice.
That's not a super great trade, considering I just want to make sure this thing.
You're not currently using them, and you definitely have a use for him.
We're also not all making steel.
Yeah, it's not fair to barter with other people's souls.
Yeah. Furthermore, since considering you're in our town, you have just violated one of our laws outright.
he just starts chuckling at you.
I know, but I love it. Zashi's got the bylaws.
And what law would I have violated by coming here?
Not by coming here, by outright killing Plautus without a trial.
But there was a trial.
Not by a jury of his peers. Is that a thing here?
He waived all his rights to such trifles long ago. Well, technically he didn't. His family did. But they are under our laws, not the laws of Suabos.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
Do you have a copy of that contract so we can see it for legal purposes?
He snaps his fingers, and a very old contract that basically has a perpetuity clause and a bloodline clause for the family of Galliano and the riches therein.
Okay, if this is the kind of contract you're talking about for a soul, the answer is no.
No. This was honestly, the Gallianos were morons. I can't believe they signed this thing, but I will let you guys know. So, when you hear Mephistopheles, you guys, anyone that has any kind of like planar knowledge, Mephistopheles does not lie. He is very good about. He is their principal contracting agent of hell. He's very good at like giving you exactly what you asked for.
Okay.
So, but
Make
does that?
sure the wording is precise.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, does that mean that he is then the type, just because he's honest and does not tell lies, doesn't mean that he's not out to find or generate?
I said he doesn't tell lies. I did not say he's honest.
Right. That was the distinction I was trying to make. That's the. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Okay.
Yeah. No, he is.
Making sure. He's that type.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, then Brutus should definitely not be the one to do the wording on this.
Yeah.
Brutus will happily be someone to sign something, but and Brutus will even say that. I may not have the brain to make sure this contract is, shall we say, fair, but
so the I will say, Mephistopheles actually does present a contract, and says, and if you wanted to, I'm not going to go into the whole legalese of it, but if somebody wanted to give me an intelligence check to try to figure out, to work through it, what it actually is saying.
does only one person get to?
Am I there?
Whistler, you are. I'll say you have arrived. And no, all of you could. He's
Okay. Brutus will try.
I will also try.
okay. Bill, no, you have no idea. I don't even know if you can read it.
Those might
can't.
be.
I can't, just making it look like I did.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Interesting.
Sashi will lean over to Bill and just to make sure your eyes don't see anything weird with the contract magic-wise, do you?
Well,
I don't know,
actually,
let
it's
me-
probably
let me
why
look
he
at it.
rolled a 1. It is radiating infernal magic. It's really hard to read letters that are glowing red.
We whisper, I really can't read it myself.
Okay.
Apparently Brutus had the highest roll there. So, essentially, what you can ascertain, Brutus, is that okay. There's so Whistler and
I got there
Brutus.
late. I'm
Yeah.
reading it right now, and I'm reading it slow because I'm copying it.
for future use. So basically, what it says is that in exchange for one soul and all souls sold to, like, basically it's you forfeit your own soul to Mephistopheles upon your death. The important part of that is that it means that you cannot be revived.
Mhm.
But you forfeit your soul to Mephistopheles upon your death. You forfeit any souls that would be granted to you upon your death. Like if somehow you were owed a soul or had
Yeah.
collected somebody else's soul, those also go to Mephistopheles. In exchange for that, you get the scabbard, and you get access to Mephistopheles' libraries.
Would there be any way to know what he specifically does with souls? Like everybody does different things. Is this one of those like it just becomes a soul coin and it's a currency? Is it an eternal torment thing?
I would need Arcana check or
I'm holding the sword
actually
again.
just bait is straight intelligence checks because
Damn it.
the
I have Arcana now.
it's
That's okay.
I would argue that it's kind of that's very specific. If just devils in general, they turn them they use them to power infernal machinery. They use them to they turn them into lemures, which are then like which are like their foot soldiers and eventually elevated to higher devils. Demons use them as food, but Mephistopheles is not a demon.
Yeah. It's essentially what Brutus would care about is whether or not that soul being taken by Mephistopheles would be used in a slave type way. Or if it would
Usually
be more
not. I mean, it's usually more of a like punishment or like again the like as a power source.
Yeah.
You're turned into coal essentially.
If that's what's translated or whatever from this contract, Brutus will ask, can a clause be added to exempt slavery entirely from this deal? Any soul that you received from this or souls could not be enslaved?
I can do that, but I will have to you won't get full access to my libraries.
I mean, I'm not necessarily a big reader, but could I give that privilege to someone who is?
I mean, you have, as it is currently, you have unrestricted access. You could bring any of your friends. That's what
that means. Okay, I didn't know if that meant I individually, physically could go.
And Whistler, you've had enough interaction with Vecna. You might have seen some like pictures of Kaz that's been like scratched out with a marker. Like Kaz the vampire, not even you would recognize the sword that would have been on his hip, but
So I don't know it's sentient or anything yet. But,
yeah.
Okay.
Not yet. Probably tell you pretty soon.
I mean, you don't have to take the deal. You keep the sword is yours to keep. I just it's kind of murderous.
And I'll look at Sashi's wounds and it's like we need this, but I don't want to risk anyone getting hurt again. And
well, think it over.
At that point, I dump out my bag and there's dragon parts all over the floor.
Oh, fuck! Whistler! What did you do to... Oh, wait, no, there's...
Mephistopheles actually looks down, sneers like, my floor, and like claps his hands, and you start seeing like animated brooms come up and start like mopping the floor.
Keep beauty in the
I point up at the dripping Plautus at the chandelier.
That is decoration. This is just gross.
One is intentional, one is filth that you trekked in.
So, let's fill you in real quick, and then you can try to fill us in on what happened to Topaz and apparently Sapphire. Or
yes, Terry.
Sapphire did this.
I want to ask, is there a way we can come up with the deal and not necessarily to buy, but maybe to rent for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, what if we return the scabbard? And the soul is like the collateral.
I don't think you understand how the hells work. I don't really have a use for a borrowed soul.
Well, if I die before getting the scabbard back to you, then my soul is yours. Right? But if I don't, then no harm, no foul. You get the scabbard back, and I'll, it'll be in perfect condition, keep it clean. I will probably be well fed.
Fine, as long as I get any of the souls you claim between here and then, or between now and then.
Sure. I don't even know how to claim a soul. If no one says anything, Brutus souls, get
Well,
ready and sign.
Hold on, claiming the soul like anyone Brutus kills?
Because that's not me claiming it, that's me releasing it. Freedom.
Not anyone Brutus kills.
Just anyone Brutus kills with Cass.
Yes.
Oh, so like the main reason we want this, you'd have his soul. Fetner?
Yes.
Why do you want his soul? He sounds nasty.
I have uses.
Uses in like a haha fun plaything way, or uses
Like I'm a
diabolical-
little sick of being second in command. All right.
Oh, so we're doing you a favor as well. Well, if that's the case.
No, we are having a business transaction.
Right, but you're a little more invested in this than you thought, than you implied. I don't know how much Brutus would be able to wait. Hold on,
I
what's
mean,
Brutus's insight?
I am. Yes, I would like to be elevated, but my existence is not on the line here.
I flip to the Murderer Crow sound contract and hand it to Mephistopheles.
Oh,
He actually looks at it and starts flipping through it, and was like, "This is actually a very well written contract."
Thank you.
He actually puts it in his pocket.
Isn't it in Whistler's like book though?
No,
I thought you were handing him a copy of it. Not...
well,
Tell him to sign
it's in the book.
Okay, then he actually like
You would have to rip it out, but you could. It's not a magical book.
No, he doesn't actually rip it out. He is too tender with contracts for that. So he puts his hand on it and like a copy of it gets pulled out. He wraps it in a scroll, puts it in the back pocket.
that was
Well, that
weird,
was
sir.
interesting. Using it for reference later.
No, I have some. I have some people stuck on my level right now that need a job.
Ooh, recruits.
Okay.
New members.
When they show up, send them to Zachi.
Well, does anyone have any? Does anyone have any reason not to just have me sign this? Like, I
I
don't
mean,
really
the
have
big reason is because I really care about your soul, Brutus, and if you die when we are fighting with this,
I would rather me than one of you, and that's just what Brutus says. I would rather lose my soul than risk one of you coming to harm by my hand again. And if I can do this to prevent the extinction of the people I care about, then I will gladly forfeit my soul. Ooh, yeah, I forgot. It's his bond. Those who fight beside me are those worth dying for. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. So this is very in line with Brutus's character, which is why I'm pursuing it.
just gotta make sure Brutus doesn't die.
It's fine. What Brutus's concern more is for the cerebral bit of, is there a reason that we wouldn't want him to have Fetner's soul? As Brutus recognizes he doesn't really understand the inner workings of all of that, so that's what he's checking. But if there isn't a complaint with that, then he's just going to sign it.
Well, the main thing, Brutus, is with this contract, the way you have written it, you are forfeiting someone else's soul that you don't know. We are intending to try to take Vecna out, but we're trying to take like his life force to prevent him from hurting other people.
Yes.
At which point I start shaking my head. And my eyes go green flame.
I don't understand, Whistler. Are you saying you don't think we can take him out? Because I think, at least with Cass, we might have a chance.
And I point to the sword and do this.
Yeah, that's Cass. Apparently, Cass took the
Killed Vecna the
Vecna's
first time.
eye and his hand.
And then I will make an illusion of a present with a bow on it, and then I will dismiss it and then turn it into a one-eyed skull and point to Gas.
You think Vecna considers it a good thing that he lost his eye and hand?
Then I just turn and walk out.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and post the rules for the Sword of Cass now.
Okay.
That's the first block set. There's actually more than this, too. I have to generate them because it is an artifact. So give me a second.
So I know how to claim souls, but for my rest of my group, if it doesn't know how to claim souls, how would they go about doing that so we do it the right way for them?
Well, not actually interested in claiming souls, technically. I don't care whether or not we do claim any. If Mephistopheles doesn't get anything out of it, that's fine by me.
Any creature that is harmed by this by Kaz, there's for the next minute, their soul is cursed to be consumed by him.
Quick question: what about Zashi? She was technically harmed by the sword.
Yes,
A minute
but-
has passed.
Okay. Okay.
A minute has passed. But yeah, if it happens again and I die within a minute,
Okay.
Mephistopheles gets my soul.
Well, I don't plan on using the sword on anything but Vecna.
Also, can I get 3 more D100 rolls? We already know that it grants proficiency in Arcana.
Guess we're going to have to social distance ourselves from
Three more?
Brutus.
So it is also interesting, that last little blurb about the Sword of Cass. So if at any point the sword or Brutus start thinking that Whistler is corrupted by Vecna, that is going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 42. So it adds proficiency in Arcana. It also increases your walking speed by 10 feet. I'll write all these down in the chat. And then minor detrimental 28. However, it does have some drawbacks. While attuned to the artifact, you emit a foul stench noticeable up to 10 feet away.
Brutus does that anyway.
I know. Also, I can only attune to one thing, and I'm definitely staying attuned to my nasty tribal tattoo.
Okay.
Or wait, no.
And here's the really nasty one. While you are attuned to the artifact, your body rots over the course of 4 days, after which the rotting stops. You lose your hair by the end of day 1, fingertips and toe tips by the end of day 2, lips and nose by the end of day 3, and ears by the end of day 4. A regenerate spell restores lost body parts.
Well, just don't attune to it until right before we go in to fight Vecna.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thought anyway. I don't plan on using it. The whole reason for having the scabbard was to keep it safe and unused until we're at that point.
Let's see, you're attuned to the cloak
On my tattoo.
and your tattoo. Okay. So yeah, it would be the last thing you could attune to. Because we don't need to attune to our amethyst pendants right now.
So basically, yeah, you get. So basically, it slowly turns you into a ghast. Is what all of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I have access to,
Ooh, hairless minotaur would be really gross looking too.
you know what the problem is I was just thinking that, and I'm thinking of it like a really cool, like old school art horror poster, like the Nouveau movies, and I actually kind of love it in my head because he's like this half rotting skull with the horns, and he's holding the sword with like half bone fingers. I'm sorry. The horror lover in me loves this, but I mean, I feel bad because Whistler left, but Brutus sees this as the simplest and most straightforward solution to making sure that the sword doesn't harm anyone, but also remains a possibility. We also don't actually have to end up using it. If he can communicate at some point to Brutus, why not? Brutus can just return the scabbard. The contract is fulfilled, and at the end,
Yeah, okay.
we don't actually have to consume a soul with the sword. So.
Okay. Give me just a minute. I am writing down all this information so that we can reference it later. 19 or 20. Extra 2d10 slashing 2 undead. Bloodbath. DC 15.
Please know, I would say like this. It's you are smart enough to realize this. It doesn't have to be fresh blood. You could like if you didn't want to sign this contract at all, if you wanted to like make a trough o' blood with the dragon
Jerry and I
parts
were
you
talking
have,
about that. Yeah.
you have underneath, you could probably do it. If you wanted to Madame Bathory the sword, you could probably do it.
I was
Everybody in town has to donate a pint of blood.
But so yeah, before we do that, I'll look at everyone else. Be like, does anyone know a butcher? Do we?
Yeah, there's definitely a butcher in town. I sold my horse to them, and one of the cattle.
Does the contract have anything in there about Mephistopheles to prevent Mephistopheles from just killing Brutus?
Nope.
Oh well, Whistle left and that was pointed out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Like, this just means that he could just go at you directly.
Well, no one said anything, but the blood bank thing did come up earlier. I know that Bill and Brutus were actually talking about it on the way to Mephistopheles. So if that's come up,
it has come up.
And Mephistopheles is not doing anything right now, like aggressive. He's just watching you.
Well, go. So, do you mind if we put a pin in this and we come back to it later?
Take all the time you need.
Okay, that sounds good. Anyone else have any thoughts or concerns before we conclude this meeting and we can adjourn later?
Why does Meth have, is part of the contract that Plautus's family have why Meth now is claiming this house is his? Because we're going to have to figure out a new mayor for the town.
It is my house. Oh, technically, it was my house before it was Plautus's house.
Repo.
Okay.
Which I mean, if you want, I can get you a deal to get all these people out of here. But I think I'd imagine this deal is much better than that deal.
I would imagine so. Okay, adjusted bonuses remain in effect. Until the start. Your next. Too bad I can't use this. Spells.
Why can't you use it?
I'm not strong enough. I mean, I could use it.
Oh yeah, it's because it's a longsword. It's a strength-based weapon.
Right. Right now my modifier to attack is +7. With this sword, it would actually be +5. So. All right. You can use an action, spells, save DC 18, call lightning. Actually, yeah. Divine word. Which I'll have to look up. Or finger of death. Until the next dawn. Next dawn to reuse spells. Well, Brutus, Bill, I think the blood bag is probably going to be our best chance.
Simpler solution.
Brutus, would you mind if I carry the sword? I want to get to know it a little bit better. And you normally attack with 2 weapons anyhow. I normally attack with 1. So we'll discuss what Meph has to say and also talk to the townspeople about getting a new mayor.
Actually, I don't understand why you need a new mayor. I am perfectly fine. I mean, we're going to have to deal with how gross he was, but I'm perfectly happy being your guys' mayor for the next week.
Yeah, I don't think we're comfortable with that, considering that you're probably going to be attempting to make contracts with our townsfolk.
I mean, I'm going to be trying to make contracts with your townsfolk, regardless if I'm the mayor or not.
What would you provide to us as the mayor in
Stability? I am an extremely good administrator. I've ran the paperwork of hell for the last, I don't know, 40 millennia. Nothing ever gets lost.
Nothing ever gets lost. And when did you arrive?
Basically as soon as you guys popped in. So a day ago?
Okay. Well, we've already lost some people then.
Oh, do you mean you mean that poor hobgoblin family?
Yeah.
I know where they are.
Yeah, so
Technically, they're not lost.
not yet.
They're still alive. I have some of my agents looking in them right now. Vlaka owes me a few favors.
This just keeps getting more and more interesting. Like
Would you like me to call them in? You don't even have it won't even cost you your soul.
What's going to it cost us instead?
Your support in the mayoral elections. You have a lot of pull here.
Yeah. God damn, that's tempting. So you would negotiate with this Blacketh person to get the hobgoblins back.
I just tell it. What is a family of 5 hobgoblins to her? Nothing.
And you have a great deal of pull in the outer planes, at least in your sphere. It could be useful.
In the sphere of evil, yes.
Which we're going to be dealing with a lot, it sounds like, considering that when we get back to where we belong, we've got some shit going down. Along with this, with me supporting you in the mayoral elections, I would need your support.
I'm going to be clear, all of you. The murder of crows. Individually, you guys have some pull, but it would just split the vote if all of you, like, supported multiple candidates. It would just get really confusing.
Yeah, that would. We would need your support in protecting Malys in the upcoming war that's going to be happening on Suavos.
No. It costs you nothing to give me your support in the elections. Costs me nothing to get the Hobgoblin family. If you're trying to drag me into a war, it's going to require a little bit more effort on your part.
Nope, trying to keep us out of the war. Like, keep the Malys and our townspeople out.
Isn't it part of the mayor's job to make sure that its town people stay safe?
Normally, yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Ah,
Alright.
reconnected. Hello.
It's the mayor's job to ensure that the benefits of the town are always put forward.
I need more coffee.
What's being talked about right now? Sorry, I missed
No worries.
all of it.
So basically, we're saying among the lungs of trying to be a mayor, trying to get him into a deal for the Hobgoblin family. We're also trying to convince him that him helping out more is going to help him with the mayor thing.
Yeah,
Who is
basically,
this?
Meph, we're still talking to
Oh,
Meph.
okay. Mhm.
Meph can get our Hobgoblin family back. All we would need to do in this case to get them is to support Meph in the mayoral election after we get back to Suavos.
Okay.
And here's the thing, no matter what, he's still going to be attempting to do contracts with the townspeople if he's mayor or not.
Mhm.
And he is really good at administrating stuff.
It's clearly proficient with bureaucratic nonsense. That seems accurate.
Yeah.
I need.
And it would have to be the whole murder of crows. So if I do this deal, there's going to be a contract specifically saying that the murder of crows is backing Mephistopheles in the mayoral election.
I don't think we need to get paperwork involved in this one. A gentleman's agreement is perfectly fine.
That's a plus. The easy way out is normally not the best way out, but we've got so much on our plate right now that getting the family back would take that great weight off our minds to be able to focus on the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll still talk about the scabbard later. We'll get a blood bag thing going for but for now, Meph, I look forward to seeing the Hobgoblin family safe and sound.
I look forward to hearing you your endorsement speech. And then he's like, now if there's anything else, I would like to. It's been a long day, and I would very much like to retire to my chambers.
Okay, let's go talk to Whistler about the dragon parts. And we leave.
Okay. So, blood bag. How are you guys making this?
Would could we
Yes,
just
Terry?
get a
Well, we have things like water skins that are watertight. If we find a creature, we can do the same thing, I believe.
Okay.
I was actually thinking just going to the butcher and seeing if they have some of the oxhide that we could make a long bag out of and get blood from one of the oxes that they would be butchering to at least start.
That is what Brutus would say, because you specifically killing anything for this sword or with this sword rather does the whole soul thing that we're deliberately trying to not mess with. So that would be my vote, would be to just go to a butcher and get it that way.
Okay. So you guys head to the butcher. the older butcher isn't in, but a kobold who has currently like a cleaver the size of it is chopping up what looks like ox meat. Ow! You customers? You want meat? I got meat.
Hi, we actually have a special request. We need a hide made into a long water skin to hold the sword that we can fill up with blood. So we actually need blood, not meat.
Kind of looks at you and then is like, does it have to be skin or any looks down at like his trough of like discarded meat parts and grabs what looks like a cow's large intestine.
Actually, that would work really well.
Yeah, anything watertight.
Okay, and he pops it down and then is like, and you need it filled with blood?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Yes, please.
He like ties it off and starts pouring in like a water balloon. This might be the grossest thing I've ever had human being or had tall people ask for. I like it.
It might be the grossest thing I've. You like it?
Don't lie.
It's probably the grossest thing that we've had to ask for. What's even worse is I'm going to be carrying it on my person.
I'm about to tie off the other end. Do you want to?
Well, we don't want it tied off, right? We're gonna just put the sword in it.
We're going to put the sword in it and tie it so that the blood doesn't spill out. So here, let's slide. Here you go, Cass. Slide you in, and then we'll tie you up.
Okay, you now have the sausage of Cass.
Thrilled with this development. I'm not gonna lie.
The sword sausage of Cass. Okay.
Okay.
I will say this. If you wanted to, and I know that the rotting thing is really gross, you could attune to it and get all of the benefits while it was in the sausage. You just couldn't use it as a sword.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's a bat. It's just a bat of blood and intestine.
No, I mean, like, you couldn't use it as a weapon, but you could use the spells. You could get the +10 movement.
Get the plus 1d10 to your initiative at the start of combat.
Yeah, but the combat abilities would probably not would not work.
Yeah, I think the rotting thing is super cool, but I recognize I'm probably in the minority on that, so.
Otherwise, yeah, it's the sword sausage of Cass.
Okay.
I will tell you with this, because it is a bag o' blood, like, you could untie it, but like there's not a great way to travel with it untied. Like, it takes time to get it out of the bag.
That's true.
You could like pop the bag and like if in an emergency, but then you don't have the bag anymore.
Yeah.
I think Zashi's plan still is to talk with the sword to get to know it a little better, but only attune to it before we're planning to get into it with Vecna. Hopefully Vecna doesn't try to find us first. Because that is an issue.
Who's ever has the bag on them the entire time does hear weird sucking sounds, like.
Well, apparently that's Zashi, so.
Yeah, this is great. I'm not going to interrupt the sucking sounds at the moment.
And probably some contented snoring most of the time. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? Now that scene took way longer than I thought it was going to.
I think we still need to talk with Whistler about the dragon body parts, and then rest, and then head out to the nearest dragon location we're aware of. And it's going to be a 50-50 chance if it's Ruby or Safi. So yeah, let's go find Whistler. I don't know if he would just like walked out and waited for us or was headed back to the temple.
He just walked back to the temple.
Okay. We'll head back. we'll head back to the temple as well. So, Whistler, can you fill us in a little bit about what happened to Topaz? Did it look like Topaz and Safi got attacked, or did Safi attack Topaz? Okay.
Do you plan on doing anything with those dragon chunks?
Well, I thought we left that at Meph's house.
I thought we took everything because we want to make sure he didn't have anything. But if we didn't, that'd be good.
I don't know what you guys did. It's up to you if you took it or not.
Bill would have taken it if we left it there because that's the whole point. Don't want to leave anything.
Bill would have been munching on it like popcorn the entire time we were walking. Come on.
Well, I would have
Right.
asked
Well,
before
Whistler
just
would've-
because.
Took the big chunks anyway because he wants to experiment on them.
Yeah, and Bill wants to try them.
Oh, now he's polite. Right.
Makes
Okay.
sense. All right, so would you mind showing us on the map where the next dragon location is that we are aware of?
Yeah, it's already on the map, but one's there
Yeah,
and one's there.
Okay, so we're gonna need probably the boat again. Not too bad. All right, shall we, unless anyone has any other things they wish to discuss, how about we take that rest because it has been most of the day, and then we'll head to the nearest dragon location, which I'm going to guess might be Safi since Safi attacked Topaz, but I don't actually know.
Sure.
Long rest.
Do we need to get any supplies for the trip?
We might need supplies, food, water as usual. We know that Safi is, what do you call that? Telepathic, like severely to the point of hearing everyone. So as we get closer, no matter what, they are going to know what we're thinking. Don't know how else that's going to go down. So if anyone wants to brainstorm that.
You guys know if Kaylee sells any magneto helmets?
Say again?
Huh?
I was wondering if anyone knows if Kaylee sells any magneto helmets.
I do not know.
I mean, you could go ask them. They're Kaylee doesn't know what you're talking about, but Abernathy would say that he sold his last ring of mind shielding 3 weeks ago.
Who to?
Some passing by merchant.
Oh, okay.
Would ask for any tinfoil or if they knew anyone that sold tinfoil because Bill heard that really works really well.
Abernathy looks as 10 foot. You mean like a, and then you basically see the light bulb go just off in his head, and then he runs over to Kaylee, and they start discussing making really thin sheets of tin to use as a food preservative.
Should have trademarked that. Copyright. Oh well.
Well, we have it in the world now. So can we ask around to see if anyone would know what we could do to help keep them out of our heads?
Yeah, give me a charisma and but now, you know what? Just give me a D20 roll and we'll figure it out from there. If anyone knows. The tinfoil idea sounds good. You definitely meet at least like 3 kobolds who have colanders on their heads.
My job here is done.
Whistler is going to sneak away again to contact the rats.
Okay.
Basically, ask that exact question.
Before he sneaks away, I think we were all there trying to ask questions. like we went to, so we're all watching their way, asking questions. I don't know if he can sneak away. I'd like to counter that, so to speak. He's going to try to sneak away.
Yeah. Go ahead and.
Okay. Well, he doesn't really try to sneak away anyway. He just starts to walk away.
Okay.
Whistler's not necessarily one for social convention.
Yep, Whistler, we had a question. Can you answer your question before you leave?
He stops. He's waiting for your question.
It was pretty much he's going to say what Zashi was asking specifically, and then wondering why you left. Because remember, we were asking specifically what happened with all the meat parts, why they're there, kind of thing. That's what we were trying to get the answer for.
And he does a small illusion of a dead dragon. It's actually the illusion is the skeletal dragon that we killed, but I mean he's just showing and he changes it to an amber topaz color.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw the dead dragon, and this is the pieces from it. Okay, I think that's the question we were asked.
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, that's what he does. He does.
Okay. And I'll pass to you, Becca. That apparently Whistler was letting us know that he believes where the actual meat came from, the skeletal dragon / amber colored. He showed us an illusion of it.
Mm-hmm.
So just making sure we're on the same page for it.
Okay, so when Whistler actually goes off to talk to the swarm,
Well, to call the swarm.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you like? This is in your head. So what would you like, Whistler?
We're gonna go see another dragon. It reads everybody's thoughts. Just wondering if you know a good way to stop that.
I could, if you call me before it only will last about an hour, but I have some spells to prevent such things. But it only lasts an hour, so.
Will I still be able to talk to you?
No. Prevents all telepathy. Just let us know. We will be watching.
And I walk back in.
Okay.
And I give everybody a big 2 thumbs up. And I point to my head.
I guess Whistler figured it out.
Whistler has a plan.
Okay.
Oh, cool. It is a versatile weapon. I can use it one-handed.
Yes, you can. So you guys wake up the next morning. No weird dreams for once. And how are you guys getting over there?
I believe we're going to use our boat again.
Okay.
King's going to have to stay behind again. Bless you, because he doesn't fit on the motorboat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll use the boat to go across the water to the location.
Okay. So you kind of skirt around the ruins of the tower. As you get to about here, I need perception checks from all of you.
Okay. Well, that's not terrible for me.
Perception.
It looks like no one rolled better than a 25.
I don't think Bill rolled, but yeah.
So, I need initiative rolls from everybody, but I also need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw.
So the 11 is my initiative. You're all next to me, so you get to add +3 to your con saves, by the way.
So this is my initiative first. +3 to our con save.
So it's 20 for my con save.
Okay.
20 for me.
Yay.
I have a
With a
22.
12. God, I can't roll for shit. Hi. Are you here to console me?
Okay, so I still need con saves from. And I'm assuming Daco is with you. We're probably after this. What's about to happen? We're probably gonna stop it because you guys are entering combat.
Yeah.
But and Chester definitely has to be here for this. So we're still waiting on Whistler and Bill for their con saves.
No, scroll up a bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just add +3 to those.
Okay, so Bill saves, Whistler doesn't. Is Daco's character sheet up? It is. So another. Okay, and so Daco fails as well. So Whistler and so all of you, the boat that you're on explodes from underneath you as a pure. It looks like it's purely made of translucent crystal. A blue dragon flows out from underneath the water and comes up from underneath you. Those of you that failed, so that's Daco and Whistler, take 49 points of thunder damage.
Ooh!
And everyone else takes half.
So 24.
You all get flung into the water. Whistler and Daco are also incapacitated until the next turn. You start sinking. As you're stunned, basically.
Yeah.
I need to grab them.
Yep. Brutus is going to immediately start swimming towards Daco.
I do have to ask, because I am wearing half plate.
Oh, yeah. Saves us.
Anyone in medium armor or heavy armor has disadvantage on athletics checks to swim.
Oh, wait. But don't I have the swim proficiency thing since I'm a... Wait.
Were you a sailor?
No. Sorry. I'm thinking Dragonlance Minotaurs. Don't mind me. Sorry. Wrong type of Minotaur.
Bill, go to Whistler. I'm good because I got my gloves.
Okay. But that's where we'll pick it up because this is going to be a fairly long fight because Safi's a dick. So that's where we're going to stop for today.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone knows Whistler's taken care of as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, damn. Storm couldn't even talk to her.
You're muted, Tucker.
Scott knows. Scott knows.
Scott, can you ping where this is all happening? Like, how far from shore are we?
You
I should
are
just
right
Google.
here.
Right there, right?
Yeah. Like you were basically right towards shore when this happened.
Okay.
It really sucks that it rolled a 25 on its stealth check.
Yeah.
The stealthy dragon. Ooh.
It's really hard to see a blue translucent dragon underwater.
Yeah. We gotta pay more attention eating our carrots.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
So yeah, we'll
Okay,
pick up
I think
that.
that was
Yes.
That was a pretty badass introduction to Safi, though.
Yeah. Another thing, Scott, just so you know.
Well, I also know
that-
Doctor's hit points, and he is out too.
Yeah.
You're gonna start with Chester already dying.
Storm would have cast Thought Shield on himself a while back because his Thought Shield lasts 8 hours.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's
It's gonna be fun.
is Taco.
Yeah.
How does Taco only have 49 hit points? Isn't he the one with the amulet of health right now?
He does have
Yeah,
that.
but he's also
No,
only
he
level
has
5.
50 hit points.
Oh, he's 1 up.
Yeah,
It's like,
God.
but he's nobody just tell him. Just wait until next week, and he's
I
like,
was just
"Oh,
gonna
Taco,
ask."
here you go. You have
So
1
the-
hit point, by the way."
I was gonna say, message him and without context say, so you're at 1 hit point. We're fighting Safi when you get back.
I just updated because I have his character sheet, so I just switched his current hit points to 1. We'll see if
See if he notices when he gets back.
Good times.
He's used to being at 1 hit point in a fight, anyways.
God, poor Chest, poor Doggo.
He should have been here, so he could have done this himself. He'd probably still be at 1 hit point.
Probably.
Been rolling like me lately, and I don't know why.
So is Whistler down? Like,
Yeah, he's down. He's not dead, but he's down.
Yeah,
and the one person that can kind of swim without disadvantage is Storm.
Well, and Bill.
Bill has gloves of
Oh,
swim.
yeah, he has gloves.
Every toy imaginable.
Yeah, so
And
oh,
really, I
man.
guess it wouldn't be all medium armor. It would be all heavy armor because this isn't actually a rule in 5e. The only rule with armor is with basically if you have disadvantage on stealth checks, you would have a disadvantage with swimming.
I have
Some-
disadvantage on swimming.
Okay, well, in that case, I don't because of the specific armor I have.
Okay.
I do.
That is one of the things with the scorpion armor, isn't it?
Yeah.